Okay, so good morning. Welcome to this morning flow. Let's start our day off in the right way by mobilizing our body. So we're going to first start by finding our child's pose. So maybe having the knees together or the knees to the edges of the mat as we sit back into the heels and then just reaching the arms forward. So just allow the forehead to rest into the earth. And we just want to ground our energy. Just allow the spine to unravel. And again, just tuning in to our breath. So just riding every wave of inhale and experiencing every exhale. We're going to take our hands over to the right to come into a side stretch child's pose. So we want to lengthen from the base of the hip all the way to the fingertips. And if it feels comfortable for you to place the left hand on top of the right. And again, just channeling the breath through the ribs and lats. And then we'll alternate sides. So taking hands to the left. So the spine is the epicenter of our yoga practice. So right now we're finding that lateral flexion, stretching out the side body, all those supporting muscles that support the spine. And from our lateral flexion, we're going to go into extension. So now just allowing the heart to come to the front of your mat as we find Sphinx pose. Slightly pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, bending at the elbows and lifting the chest, lifting the head. So we take the spine into extension. Now some of you may want to extend the arms into what we call seal pose. So a very soft upward facing dog. Just allowing the shoulders to soften. And then we'll just allow the front of the chest to unrelease into the mat, hands in line with shoulders, and we'll come back into our child's pose. Now to set up a sequence called striking cobra. So from our child's pose, we're going to bend at the elbows, the chest doesn't touch the earth, as we cycle the heart to find an upward facing dog. Again, taking the head back and then exhale back into our child's pose. So just taking a few rounds here at your own pace, just bridging that gap between breath and movement, and maybe seeing if you can maybe take the navel off the mat as you cycle into your upward facing dog. So again, head back, big stretch, and out breath to roll. Again, we're just mobilizing and energizing the spine. We'll take one more here. Then when we find the upward facing dog, we're going to unpeel the body back into the earth. And then placing hands in line with shoulders, we're going to find our twisting cobra to twist into the thoracic part of the spine. So again, hands in line with shoulders. On the in-breath, we're going to lift and twist to the right, just to your own range. And then out-breath to release the front of the body back into the mat. We'll alternate sides. So again, in-breath to left, looking over that shoulder, and out-breath to release. And again, just continuing at your own pace. Make our way to start to work into the shoulders. So we're going to transfer into a tabletop position. Now keeping the knee in line with the hip, we're going to reach our arms forward to find puppy elbows, so sending the head in between the arms. So maybe the forehead connects with the earth, or maybe you can bring the chin and chest down. So just a few breaths here, just to release the shoulders and the front and back of the upper chest. And then we'll slowly, to exhale the pose, extend up legs, and then bring the arms by the side. So again, just bringing that mobility to the shoulders. We're going to take arms by the side. Now we're going to slightly keep a lift in the head as we breathe the arms up overhead, crossing at the elbows. So touching opposite shoulder blades, and out breath to circle the hands behind the back, holding onto the right wrist, bending elbows. And then we'll breathe and alternate. So inhale, circle, opposite crossing, out breath to left wrist. We'll take one more, opening out the heart space. Again, bringing that rotation into the shoulders. Very good. And then we'll make our way back into our tabletop position. So let's work the core here. So hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. We're going to tuck the toes under and lift into floating tabletop. So belly to spine, bracing abs. You want to build up power through the core to wake up those supporting muscles. Now we'll take a breath in and exhale into downward facing dog. So again, just allow the head to be heavy in between the arms, so feel the space between the neck and the shoulders. And then we'll inhale back into our floating tabletop. So we'll do that just 2 more times. So we'll inhale here, exhale down dog, inhale floating table, and exhale down dog. We'll take it back into our tabletop position, and now we'll untuck the toes. So this is called broken feet. So we're going to untuck, and we're going to slightly lift knees off the mat, just releasing the toes. And if we can, out breath, downward facing dog. And we'll do that 2 more times. So inhale, broken toe, tabletop, out breath, tailbone lifted. 1 more, breath in, and breath out. We'll release the knees back down, untuck your toes, now to work lower body. So hip flexors, hamstrings. We'll send the right foot forward to set up our low lunge. So knee over ankle, hips forward and down. Now placing hands on thigh, we're just going to drive that knee. Again, maybe keeping spine neutral, or maybe take it into an extension. Looking up. And now to float through our half split. So framing front foot. We'll take it into a half split, toes flexed or toes pointed. And then we'll cycle. Again, just moving to your own pace and timing. Downward facing dog, and then we'll alternate. So we'll send our left foot forward, again lowering the back knee, hands on thigh, chest tall, maybe head back, driving that knee over ankle. And then we'll float through our hamstring stretch. So we're alternating. Inhale and exhale. Very good. And then we'll take 1 more here. And then from a tabletop position, we're just going to swivel the feet. So So facing you just into a 90-90 position to work out outer hips. So having the knees in a 90, we're just going to alternate windscreen wiping the knees to work that inner and outer rotation of the hips. So again, maybe placing hands behind the hips, or maybe hands free. Now if it feels comfortable for you, maybe using hands at the back of the hips to squeeze the glutes and lift, maybe taking head back, or release the hands and lift. So just see where you need to go, and obviously over time we get stronger as we mobilize our body. From here, we're just going to make our way into Malasana, yoga squat. So, coming into our yoga squat, elbows inside of knees. Now, it doesn't matter if the heels are lifted or grounded. But what we want to find is the extension from our Malasana with toes out to toes in to fold. So again, we'll inhale, toes out into yoga squat. Exhale, toes in to fold. Let's take 2 more. And then from our fold, we'll just roll up through the spine. Give the body a shake, take any final movements, and then have a great rest of your day, mobilized and energized.